The moment the pilot jabbed her finger into Naomi's face and spat out, "You people always try to sneak in where you don't belong," the entire first-class cabin froze. 3 suited passengers glanced up from their newspapers and tablets. The hush inside the aircraft was thick, humming with silent judgment and uncomfortable glances. Naomi stood still, her sharp eyes fixed on a woman in the captain's uniform. She didn't blink. She didn't raise her voice. She just watched. Before we continue, if you are watching our video for the first time, please bless and support us by hitting that subscribe button. Turn on your notification bell to get notified for more, and share with your friends. Where are you watching from? Please tell us in the comments. We love seeing how far our story goes. To our returning family and our 200+ subscribers, thank you so much for being part of our growth. Your support means everything. Let's dive in. The pilot stepped back slightly, clearly agitated, refusing to even check the passenger manifest. "I don't care what your assistant said. You're not on the list. Coach is that way." Naomi adjusted the strap of her elegant leather satchel and exhaled slowly. Her voice was calm, controlled. "My name is Naomi B. Thomas. My assistant checked me in. I'm confirmed." The pilot scoffed, scanning Naomi from her black stilettos to the satin blouse that hugged her curves. "I don't need to check anything. You're not meant to be here. Let's not make this difficult." Not a single passenger intervened. A man in a navy suit sipped his coffee. A woman pulled her coat tighter. Heads turned, but mouths stayed shut. Naomi said nothing else. She pulled out her phone, pressed a contact marked Atlas Control, and said 3 words: "Activate Protocol 9." Within 5 minutes, the cabin intercom buzzed. "Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the inconvenience. Due to a system override, this flight has been grounded temporarily. Please remain seated as our team works through the issue." The pilot turned toward the cockpit. "What the hell is going on?" she snapped. The co-pilot leaned in. "Captain, we've been locked out. Ground ops overrode the system. They said the airline owner initiated an emergency hold." The pilot narrowed her eyes. "The owner? That can't be. Monarch Air is private." She turned slowly back toward the cabin. Naomi was seated now, calm, sipping a bottle of water. Her phone still glowed in her hand. A man in a dark charcoal suit and earpiece entered from the tarmac. He walked directly to Naomi without hesitation. "Ma'am, confirmation received. Do you want her dismissed now?" Naomi nodded once. "She doesn't fly for me. Escort her off my aircraft." The pilot paled. "Wait, what? You're the—" Naomi stood up. "Naomi Bennett Thomas, founder and majority owner of Monarch Air. You just lost your wings." Stunned silence swept the cabin. The suited passengers were now scrambling to piece together the truth. Phones were quietly unholstered, photos discreetly taken. "You assumed," Naomi continued, her voice calm but razor sharp, "because of how I look. You didn't even bother to check the manifest. You judged me out loud with no shame." Security approached. The pilot, red-faced and trembling, tried to argue. It was a misunderstanding. "I thought—" "You didn't think." Naomi cut in. "You reacted. Now face the consequences." Security escorted the pilot out without resistance. Naomi sat back down and opened her laptop. "Everything handled?" her assistant's voice asked through her earpiece. "Handled. Bring in a new pilot. Already en route. Do you want a public statement?" Naomi paused. "No. Let the silence speak. It's louder." The other passengers were visibly shaken. One of them, Michael, a middle-aged executive, stood and walked over to her. "Ms. Thomas, I just want to say, I should have spoken up. I'm sorry I didn't." Naomi looked at him, her expression unreadable. "It's not about guilt," she said. "It's about what you do next time. That's how change happens." He nodded slowly, swallowing hard. Naomi leaned back in her seat, finally exhaling. She wasn't angry. She was focused. The pilot had only been a symptom. The disease ran deeper. And if she had to uproot every inch of it from the company she built with sleepless nights and unmatched vision, so be it. 30 minutes later, a new pilot boarded. Professional, respectful, efficient. Naomi nodded at him, and the flight finally resumed. News outlets picked up the story within hours. Black tech mogul fires pilot mid-flight over discrimination. CEO silently corrects racism in the sky. She owned the plane all along. But Naomi didn't tweet. She didn't post. She just worked. In a small internet cafe in Nairobi, a teenage girl named Lila watched the footage and whispered to herself, "One day, I'll build something too. Something big." Naomi would never know her name, but the ripple had already begun. This wasn't just a story about a seat. It was about reclaiming space. It was about not asking for dignity, but owning it. And as the wheels of the aircraft touched down at its destination, Naomi looked out the window and smiled to herself. Another day, another battle, another win. This story was brought to you by ELLIOT Stories. Don't forget subscribe to our channel. It means the world to us. See you on the next one. Stay tuned. ELLIOT Stories Cares.